Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Kamatara. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be supporting your meditative experience this morning. So glad that you're here in person and online. So take a moment to get your body the way you need it to be so you can be fully focused. So scooch whichever way. And if you're a crisscross applesauce person with your legs, that's great. Or if you want to put your feet down and square off your hips and square off your shoulders and feel that chair supporting you. And then take some nice deep breaths to get centered. Thoughts might be crossing our mind right now, and just let them flow down and away, just like that water sound with our beautiful water fountain. We're just going to let that wash right away as thoughts come up, and they just wash right away. And whatever it took to get here today, this morning, whatever it was that was happening before you got here, we'll just let that wash away. It'll still be there when you get out of church later. You don't have to worry about it now. And continue to take those nice deep breaths that anchor you in your body. And we're going to do a small guided meditation this morning. Guided meditation, I'm going to ask you to turn inward into your mind's eye, where you can have the full landscape of your imagination. And go ahead and imagine that you're on a beautiful hiking trail, woods, mountains, river, it doesn't matter. What's your favorite? Taking a beautiful hike, and the sun is going down, and nighttime is approaching, and the stars are starting to come out, and you see a beautiful campfire that you're approaching, and there's all different people sitting around this campfire. As you approach, you know that you are welcomed into the circle around this campfire. They're so happy that you're there. And you sit down and you look around the circle, and it's people that you know and love, the people who cheer for you, who root for you, people who inspire you, maybe some wisdom teachers, people already gone past. Be your ancestors, your elders. Just take a moment in the silence to look around that circle of support for you. And take a moment to honor each person who's in that circle of support for you. To make eye contact, to acknowledge them just silently. Each one around the campfire. The elders, your ancestors, the wisdom givers, the people who are rooting for you. Honoring each person in the circle for support for you. And now that you've seen who's in your circle of support, we're going to take the next 10 minutes to just listen. You can pass the talking stick around. Each person in your circle of support can share their wisdom with you. What is it that would be really helpful for you to know right now from each ancestor, wisdom teacher, person who's in your circle around this beautiful campfire? Each one has a message just for you. So take a moment in the silence and let each one have their say. And we'll sit in the silence for about 10 minutes. And if your mind is drifting, bring yourself back to the beautiful campfire. You could put another log on the fire and look around at the people that are in your circle. Who is your circle of support? And who hasn't spoken yet in your circle of support? And we listen. And it's just about time for the circle that is sharing wisdom with you. Just about time for that to come for landing. So listen to one more person in your circle of support. And then we'll have some closure in a moment. And now taking a look around that circle of support, make sure that you honor each person that shared with you around this beautiful sacred campfire. Take a moment to bow to each one. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for believing in me, even when I forget how. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the tough love. Thank you for the compassion. Thank you for reminding me who and what I am. And I carry all of you in my heart as my life out pictures. And I go forth and embody my life. And in your mind's eye, you can stand up from that beautiful campfire and know that you can return to that circle of support anytime that you need a pick-me-up, a little boost, a little wisdom, a little loving. And in your mind's eye, as you're walking on down the path, take a moment to just think, what were the key takeaways? There are a few little treasures you want to hold on to and bring with you outside of this meditation. And you're welcome to put those little treasures in your metaphysical backpack, or if you feel like you need to write them down, there's paper in the backs of the seats and pens. Hold on to the little treasures and bring them with you. And coming back home to yourself, you can store that little metaphysical backpack of treasures in your heart and in your mind. And feel that deep sense of peace and support and love that is yours. Feel that in your body. And come on back to your body, into your head, into your heart, into your hips, into your toes. Nice deep breaths. Welcome home to yourself. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. We'll be starting service at 10:30, so I hope you get a drink of water and walk around a little and get back in your body fully before we have our beautiful service together. Thank you.
Are we up? We are up. Good morning, Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. That wasn't bad. That's all right. That's okay. I could actually hear something back. That's like the response thing, right? My name's Brian Kurtz. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm grateful for everybody that's here today in person and online. Thank you very much for being here. Glad to see some new people who are back and some old people who are back. Well, how about that? Old isn't right? That, I shouldn't say that. Older people who were here who are now back. How's that? I like that. I like that a lot better. First of all, I want to thank Reverend Kamatara for delivering a wonderful meditation today. In that vein, everyone who's got some sort of clicker, popper, noisemaker, beeper that might go off and take away from someone's spiritual experience here, please deactivate those, mute them, turn them off, take them back out to your car, whatever's necessary. If you're joining online, welcome. Glad you're here. You can click the closed captioning if you need some assistance. And together, we are transforming our world with the power of love in action. We got a lot of folks being love in action today. We got Susan Clark hiding out somewhere. She's checking some stuff out. She's going to be our musical inspiration today. We got Jennifer and Cheryl Ray on tech team today, thank goodness. And I would say thank you to all of our greeters, but today, Carol Ann, who is our volunteer coordinator, turn around, look at Carol Ann, wave. I want you to see who she is, because she is not only our volunteer coordinator, making sure that all of the people who are being love in action are being love in action today and every Sunday, but she needs some help. Whoops. She needs some help today. She's being greeter because there's no other greeter today. She's helping out in the kitchen. She's doing everything, and she's like, she needs some support. So help Carol Ann out. If you've got something that you like to do, or something that you notice is out that you would like to put in, or something that's missing that you would like to add to, or something that looks like it's in the way that you need to help get out of the way, talk to Carol Ann. She's here to help coordinate all of that so that this place runs smoothly. There's so much that needs to be done, and so much that you can do based on whoever you are and whatever's yours to do. So just look in your heart and see what's there. We have Carmela holding space today in the back. Thank you very much. Let's see. What else am I leaving out? Oh, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. Who's going to be leading opening prayer today? Talia will be leading opening prayer. Thank you very much. Reverend Kamatara is going to be delivering our inspirational message today. We have a big potluck in case you haven't found that out yet. In the back after services, feel free to bring your favorite dish, something that you like to make or that you like to share, and have it be a bigger feast for everybody. That would be a really good thing. Today is birthday Sunday. I know it's Mark Ayer's birthday today. I don't know if there's anyone else's birthday. He's like, oh, crud, you had to say it. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I had to say it. And if there's other birthday people here for this month, this is May birthday day. Want to make sure you know about that. Let's see. Oh, Kim Peabody is going to be the healer on duty today. She's going to be in the practitioner room just past the bathrooms after services. Go and see her. I don't know if you checked the newsletter out to see the Life is a Mirror writing from Nancy Bowers, or it really good. Just go back, check out the newsletter, read that, because if you want to know how well you're doing spiritually, emotionally, look at the world going on around you, because you're co-creating it. Life is a Mirror. Check that out. Check that writing out. Lots of stuff going on in the bookstore. Brian Kurtz is the Artist of the Month in the bookstore this month. Check out my book, Access the Real You, Touching Your Divinity and Applying Its Wisdom to Your Life. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful structure for getting more out of life and just being more of who you're here to be and finding out who and what that is in the way that's yours. Noticing, being the noticer of your thoughts, your bodily sensations, your life circumstances, all of that's a mirror for you. All of that is there to serve you, to help teach you, and become your own personalized, never-ending store of teaching material. And I had to screw up a lot to learn that, just for the record. Just for the record. What's that? I will autograph them. I will autograph them and put a personal note in every book that you choose to buy from the bookstore, which helps the bookstore, and everybody wins. Spiritual economics is coming up, being led by practitioners Marilyn O'Leary and Maria Dion. Maria Dion. $99 plus love offerings. And I'm trying to see, it's 8 Tuesdays, 5 to 8 p.m., June 3rd through July 29th. If you can't write all that down that fast, just go to the newsletter. It's in there. You can go to the rgcsl.org website and see that. Solid Grounds is still rocking it. Come on out on Friday nights. It's always fun, always some good food, some good coffee and tea, good fellowship, good music. It's a good thing all the way around. And that lady right over there, Susan Clark, is doing a marvelous job to help make that happen. And I know, you don't want to have to acknowledge it. She's shy. You can always tell how shy Susan is when she gets up. But anyway, thank God for Susan Clark helping out with all of that. The May-June Science of Mind magazine, Daily Word, and Spirituality Health magazines are here. They kind of stuck us with a surprise increase, so we're having to raise the prices to $11.99. But because that just happened, Gilbert is cutting everybody slack with 10% off. If you get it, is that this Sunday only? This Sunday only, if you want to get Science of Mind at the older price, Gilbert's willing to eat the difference. And after this, it's going to be $11.99. Let's see. Also on Saturday, June the 28th at 9:30 a.m. here, Gilbert's going to be leading a chakra candle workshop. You can get to make your own candles. The kits are all there with everything you'll need. It's $15 per kit, per chakra kit. And if you want to make a whole bunch and cover all 7 chakras, you can do that and just buy as many chakra candles, project kits as you'd like, and create and have fun. Let's see, did I leave anything? Well, I'm just going to count on anything I left out to be covered by Reverend Kamatara. Have fun.
Good morning. So now we're going to take a moment from all of that extemporaneous talk from Brian and silence ourselves. For it is in this silence within that we can hear the voice of Spirit, and we can know that love within. That is the love of the divine that's been given to us to live, to open, to be and to know, to expand, and to settle within ourselves and move into that still space where all is one and we are one with the one. And so in this moment, I invite us to take just a moment of silence now, so you can center within and know yourself as Spirit. Thank you. And welcome to Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Amen.
If you please stand, we're going to do an opening song together. This is a new one. It's kind of a new one for me too, so we're going to learn it together. It's by Charlie Thweet, and Charlie will actually be with us here on June the 6th, 8th, somewhere around in there, June 8th, I think. Charlie will be doing the talk and the music. He's quite phenomenal, so pass the word around. A little intro.
In a modern world, it takes courage to see the beauty in ourselves, to see the beauty in each other, where our spirit dwells. In a modern world, it takes courage to see the beauty in ourselves, to see the beauty in each other, where our spirit dwells. And we fly side by side, and we fly deep inside, and we fly side by side, and we fly deep inside. We're gonna do the whole thing again from the top. In a modern world, it takes courage to see the beauty in ourselves, to see the beauty in each other, where our spirit dwells. In a modern world, it takes courage to see the beauty in ourselves, to see the beauty in each other, where our spirit dwells. And we fly side by side, and we fly deep inside, and we fly deep inside, and we fly deep inside, and we fly. Thank you.
Let's give that a shot. Hello. Awesome. See how you turned me on? Beautiful. Love it. We're all here together. That was a gorgeous song. I love the prayer. Thank you, Talia and Brian. I love your announcements. So good. The way that we love this place. So welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, where we are transforming the world with the power of love in action. My name is Reverend Kamatara. My pronouns are she and her. And I am your celebration host and speaker for this morning. It's a little double header because you had me last week too, so ole, we're doing it again. People are going to start talking. I don't know. And also, we want to hold in prayer all the folks that are on retreat this weekend. So you may see some of the usual customers are not here today because they're up in the Pecos. And so we're just going to know for them that it's a restful, replenishing retreat for the practitioners and the ministers and just all different folks that are up there right now. So they're going to come back and be all shiny, sparkly for you when you see them next week. All right. So to get us grounded in this spiritual community, we are anchored in the principles of science of mind and unity and new thought. Some people call it ageless wisdom. But if we had to pick out our greatest hits, a few basic concepts, What we would start with is first that there is only one power in the universe, and it's known by many names. Pick your word. It's fine if it's, God and Allah and whatever other words there are to try to name this thing that can't be named, but there is this one power, this something sacred going on, and that is the divine. And that we each are expressions of that divine, because if the divine is all there is, then we are that. All right, and we enhance our awareness and our connection to the divine through prayer, meditation, learning, service, study, Sunday morning services, just like this. This is how we increase our connection, and especially in ministry to each other. We also believe that our thoughts are creative, that we are co-creating with the divine, that we do have some say over what's happening in our lives. And so we encourage ourselves and others to be anchored in spiritual principles, to remember our truth, to recognize when we're out of alignment, and then have our practices in place so we can right ourselves when we're a little off. And we also believe, just like our friends in A Course in Miracles do, that everything is either love or a call for love. And if you can even just recognize, sometimes you might be the one who needs the lovin', sometimes you might be the one who's given the lovin', and it's just a good thing to recognize that ebb and flow. And finally, we believe that we are all, and each and every one of us, whole, perfect, and complete, exactly as we are. There's no need to be rescued, saved, or fixed. And I get it that sometimes we may be a little less than skillful in the way that we're showing up in life, but that's why we're here, to keep practicing and sharing the journey and having a safe place where we can practice and bring our best self forward and live our best lives. So that's why we're here, to be studying metaphysics, to be applying spiritual practices to our daily lives, to actually live it. So it's not just academic, it's not just woo-woo. We're actually applying it to our lives, and then our lives improve. So we want to take a moment to honor you being here right now today, and to recognize your powerful presence and the gift you are to this world. In fact, if any of you are new, if you're brand new, I don't know how courageous you are. There's different levels of courage. You could stand up if you want to just own it and say, yes, I'm brand new and I'm here today. You could raise your hand and be like, yeah, I'm new today. Or you could just be incognito. It's okay. It takes a lot of courage to walk through the doors. So, but we are going to do a blessing. So if you're new today, just know this is extra special for you. For those of you that were new last week and you still came back this week, thank you. That's fabulous. And for those of you that are fabulous frequent flyer miles, we're glad that you're here too. So let's take a moment to bless each other. I'm going to say some words, and you can repeat after me as you feel comfortable. Okay, and go ahead and make that fabulous awkward eye contact with someone else, because we're going to love each other up. Okay, we see you. We know who you really are. You are a divine emanation of spirit. We love you. We appreciate you. Welcome home. Awesome. Thank you for joining me for that. So now we are going to have a congregational song.
This is New Song Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
This is another one by Charlie Thweet. And I'll let you make the choice. Stand. Yes, Margie says stand, stand. Let's stand. Stand. Get some energy going in the world. Here we go.
When you sing your song, there's a power in the wind that will sail you home to the peace you know within. When you sing your song, all of nature will join in to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. When you sing your song, you can feel the rising tide, lifting all things off, and there's no to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. So you ask the rising tide and the power and the wind, and you know that there's no way you could ever fail. And you call upon your heart and God who lives within, and you know that there's no way you could ever fail. When you sing your song, there's a power in the wind that will sail you home to the place you know within. When you sing your song, all of nature will join in to bless you in your mission here on earth, to help you in your service here on earth. La 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 is coming up. La 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 la. Thank you.
Sure, I like the song better, the la la la. It's so sweet. Okay, so now we're going to turn our attention to a reading. If I can find it here amongst all these markers. So the title of the reading is "The Divine Presence Within Me is My Authority." Yeah, right? Right. And here is a scripture reading. And this is from the book 365, Science of Mind, by Ernest Holmes. And the scripture is from Isaiah 26:3. Thou wilt keep him or her in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. So, the divine presence within each of us is both the center and the circumference of our real being. It is the infinite presence that inhabits eternity and finds a dwelling place in our own consciousness. Indeed, we recognize it as the only real authority that there is, no matter the pretenders, right? We know we are one with it and in it, for there is no separation from it. There cannot be. It is a part of us. Our own consciousness is the very depth and height of its being and is one with all that is. There is an infinite self-knowingness which we call the spirit. It is ruled by law and impelled by love. Each of us is an individual center in it without being separate from it. We are rooted in the one, which produces limitless variety. Therefore, God, or however you call that supreme power, is uniquely individual and personal to each one of us. And moving it now to the personal, I have a little reading from a little book, so little book, from the Shambhala, The Sacred Path of the Warrior, by Chongyam Trungpa. And he says, discovering basic goodness. By simply being on the spot, your life can become workable, even wonderful. You realize that you are capable of sitting like a king or a queen, or like a queen or a king on a throne. My joke was lost on y'all? Okay. The regalness of that situation shows you the dignity that comes from being still and simple. A great deal of chaos in the world occurs because people don't appreciate themselves. Having never developed sympathy or gentleness toward themselves, they cannot experience harmony or peace within. And therefore, what they project to others is also not peace within, but inharmonious and confused. So developing tenderness toward yourself allows you to see both your problems and your potential accurately. You don't feel that you have to ignore problems or exaggerate your potential. This kind of gentleness toward yourself and appreciation of your own very self, just the way you are, is necessary and provides the ground for helping yourself move forward and for others. Thank you very much.
I'm going to give you just a moment to take that in before I do a rather uplifting song. So, just thank you, Talia.
I've spent my life with a disease to please, saying yes when I really meant no. But now I've seen the light and I feel the time is right. There's something I need you to know. 1, 2, 3, 4. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I'm saying yes to me. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. So you notice there's a drummer in the room, right? Yeah. Kent Pinson Barker. I hope, is that close enough? You're being kind, I know it. Anyway, we're so happy to have him with us. All right. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. I've been living my life, living to please, full of effort and struggle, and not enough ease. I've been such a good girl, but now I know when I'm true to me, I lose a piece of my soul. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I'm saying yes to me. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. I thought to be liked, I had to be nice. Doing what others wanted, I was paying the price. 'Cause what good is my giving? How authentic, how true, when I cheat me just to please you. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I'm saying yes to me. And oh, is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. It's all about freedom and having choices. Trusting my heart to know that I can say yes or I can say no. Yes to what feels right. Yes to what feels wrong. Yes to what feels right. No to what feels wrong. Yes to what feels right. No to what feels wrong. And when I'm undecided, I'll sing this little song. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I see some energy in the room, but maybe not enough. All right. If you want to sing, it's pretty redundant, so you kind of know the words, right? Now watch me mess them up. N-O is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. N-O is my new yes when I say no. I'm saying yes to me. N-O is my new yes when I say no. I'm saying yes to me. N-O is my new yes when I say no. I set myself free. Say no, 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 no. Yeah. When I say no, I set myself free. Thank you so much.
Woo, I feel so called out. Right? But thank you. I was like, that? Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about today. So it's like spot on, dead accurate, and I just feel wow. Whoo, okay, so let's take a moment to get grounded here. And last week, if you're here, we spoke about the power of regenerativity, which is a fabulous made-up word, but how to be regenerated and really experience, like, what would it be like if you had, all of you in full energy and full power? What would that be like? And we spoke about the 4 R's: to release, reconfigure, replenish, and then experience that regeneration. And I promised you that I would bring my spirit animal that I forgot last week. This is me when I'm fully regenerated. I am a rainbow sparkly, fully inflated unicorn that I can't believe my friend Yvette found. I told her about this after a retreat I went to, and I was like, and I was feeling deflated, and this is who I really am, and I want to be this. And she's like, oh my gosh. And she found this at Michael's, and it was amazing. So it's my spirit animal. And if you weren't here last week, just go on back and check out the video, especially if you're feeling exhausted or overwhelmed with life right now. It was really good. We had a moment last week. So go back and watch the video. It'll be great. But this week is an excellent follow-up to that talk. Because the only way to sustain your newly regenerated, healed self is to speak up for yourself. It is to be able to advocate confidently for what you need, whether you're at home or at work or in the community. And this, too, is a new arena for me, which is why I felt very called out by that amazing song. And I know that sounds completely ridiculous because here I am, a minister, I'm a CEO of a national nonprofit, and I'm a former teacher. So when it comes to advocating for others, oh, man, I got it in space. Like, I've got this. I'm like the ultimate Mama Bear Gold Award winning medals, yes. And then it comes to me, and suddenly I'm just like made of rice paper. I don't even know. Someone breathes on me, and I just disintegrate. What is that about? Well, that's what we're going to kind of look at today. And I don't know if you had the same experience that I had growing up, but I was raised to not have needs, to not be high maintenance, which we spoke about last week, and to just not even make a peep, to just not exist, pretty much. And also, I had multiple unstable locations, like an unstable childhood home. If any of you grew up in a home with addiction, it can be really dicey what you're experiencing. Or I've been in unstable workplaces. I have my own unstable marriage. It was amazing, amazing place to practice because I got to walk on eggshells around landmines and elephants in the room. Just one of everything. It was all the things. It was amazing. And I also had zero modeling and zero lessons on how to have open conversations.
If you've grown up in a home with addiction, you certainly know there's really a discrepancy between what's out in the world and then what's happening at home. And so having open conversations that may be difficult, a lot of us are just not trained on how to do that. And we're taught that speaking up for our needs is a difficult conversation, which it really doesn't have to be. So that's kind of this interesting disconnect. We're also taught that people who speak up for themselves are pushy or bold or arrogant, right? Insert words here. And if you're a woman doing that, heaven forbid, a woman speaking up with confidence, well, we all know what words they get called, and I'm not going to say them here, okay, because they're not G-rated. So I learned super unhealthy ways to not make waves, to not speak up, to be seen and not heard, and to just make do. Just be happy with what you get, that you have anything at all. Basically to just not exist. Does that really seem like God's plan for your life? Thank you, Talia. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Talia, and Michaela, and Margie, and Susan, so you could not exist? Like, what? It doesn't even stand to reason, right? But that's what we're taught. That's what society is shaking out there, and that's, how we're indoctrinated. Oh, my goodness. So maybe I was thinking about, what are these patterns that I'm trying to get out of my playbook? I do not want to do these anymore. So there are about 5 that came to mind when I think of when I try to speak up and think, oh, mwah, mwah, what ends up happening instead is really weird. Maybe you'll recognize one of these patterns in you. One of the fabulous things that I do is that I dilute my request. Like way too much water and not enough Kool-Aid powder. I'm just saying, wow, or just way too much bread and not enough butter. Just, it's way too diluted, and it's where I would say things like, well, if you don't mind, could you please, if you have enough time, and all those little qualifiers and extra phrases, and at a certain point, you can hardly even tell what the request is. It's so, I think in journalism they call that burying the lead. Like, you can't even tell what the ask is, and somehow it makes it seem like you're not even invested in it. Like, well, I don't really care, but maybe if you could, but you actually really do. And like somehow it just softens the blow if you have enough quantifiers on it. But then how does the person even pick up on the thing you want? And it doesn't seem like you care. So that gets into some really funky communication patterns. But then I would get upset if they didn't magically understand what I was saying, or they don't do it. So then it's kind of a double whammy. There's some weird things that happen with that. And that kind of gets into the next pattern that's not very healthy, which is taking a really manipulative approach. Or my favorite word that I made up is facilimanipulation. I will facilitate this, which will manipulate you to get the response that I want. Facilimanipulation. Copyright, Kamatara, 2025. So it's kind of a backdoor approach. Like, I'm going to make you think that it's your idea to do the thing that I want, so I don't have to take responsibility for it. I'm going to make you get motivated, like, you take it on, and then if it happens, it doesn't happen, like, I'm good. I don't have to own it. That's a hot mess waiting to happen, right? Okay, and that kind of leads to another approach, all the mind games that we play. And I don't know about your storyteller, but my storyteller has Olympic gold medals. Wow, it can make up stories in like split seconds about what's going to happen if I say this, and then he's going to say that, and then this is going to happen that. So I'm going to do this instead of that. Whoa, that mind game approach. I've said this before that I used to do. I'm going to give you the version of me that I think you want so I can get the thing that I think I want. Did you follow that? Okay, let me say it one more time because it's really good. Okay. I'm going to give you the version of me that I think you want so I can get the thing that I think I want. Ooh, it's that people-pleasing thing. It's the mind games that we start playing. And when I need to speak up for myself, then all of a sudden my storyteller is like, well, wait a minute. When are we going to speak up? How are we going to speak up? Can we time it right? Like right after he's eaten supper and he's in a good mood. And if I frame it this way, and then I'll make it seem, whoa. That is, number one, exhausting. Number two, it's highly ineffective. It rarely gets you the thing you want. And I know from personal experience, because if it did work, I would have already done it. It would have been great. Does not work. And then it leads to some really weird side effects. When I get angry, feel betrayed, or I start to get resentful because now it's all brewing inside. Like, well, this person didn't read the imaginary script inside of my head and isn't doing the thing that they should just magically know. And like I used to say to my poor former spouse, well, if you would have known what I was thinking, that would have made sense. Oh, didn't stand a chance. So then with that resentment, then some more weird communication patterns come out. Do you ever do the passive-aggressive pot shots? Little drive-bys? Like, well, if you just would have bought the tickets, da-da-da-da-da. Well, you know, every time you da-da-da-da-da, whoa. Then it starts to get almost weaponized, which is really no bueno. But worse than the passive-aggressive pot shots is when we say absolutely nothing at all. And think about all the things we do when we don't say anything. We demur, we yield, we shrink, we freeze, we stuff. And let me tell you, every time you stuff it, that spiritual junk drawer, at some point, it's going to blow. We all know it. So we don't want to keep putting stuff in there. So, and oftentimes we put it in there hoping it'll just magically disappear. It'll magically go away. It'll magically resolve itself. It's like Charlie Brown kicking the football. Oh, time. It'll just get better. And then we're back up in the hamster wheel. And around we go, and it happens again until we speak up. We have to exist. We have to advocate for ourselves. I was listening to a really neat video by Matt Kahn, K-A-H-N, and he was talking about how there are two kinds of people in the world. He says that there are people with superior egos and inferior egos. And it's not that one is better or worse, they're just different. He was just recognizing some patterns. And that people who have a superior ego, they have plenty of ego. And their goal in this life is to learn that other people exist. I know, and at first it sounds funny because it kind of is, but it's kind of not. You know what I mean? And you probably know some people where you're like, ooh, yeah, that truly, like from the depths of my heart, you're really here to learn that other people exist. It's really important for folks with a superior ego. For people with the inferior ego, and that's probably most of us because spiritual seekers, we find each other out and we're, you know, kindred spirits here. For inferior egos, we probably don't have enough ego, which is really hard. That goes really against the socialization that we get, that maybe we don't have enough ego, and our lesson in life is to exist. To be fully present, to be a three-dimensional being, to be messy and loud and take up space. I found myself shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking in my childhood home. And in my marriage, I found myself shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until I was in just a little room. And now I'm like, oh, whew, that my little unicorn floaty was getting deflated and deflated and deflated and kicked to the curb and just kind of trampled on and stepped aside. And now I am, you know, being fully inflated, speaking up for myself, living out loud. I took some voice lessons. Now that my children are grown, I'm like, what would I love to get back into? So I've been getting back into music, as some of you know, and singing opera and all sorts of fun things. And it was really wild the first lesson or two with this voice teacher, because she kept saying, Kamatara, you've got to make noise. Like, you can't sing without, like, you just need to let it rip and don't worry about whether you're right, wrong. In fact, let's do this. We're going to do the scales that I want you to sing, and I want you to make it as ugly and loud and sloppy and slidey as you can make it. I thought I was going to die. It was so hard because I was really raised that, I'm supposed to be beautiful. And when I play piano, it's supposed to be beautiful. And you play, with the egg timer on, and when it's done, you stop. And, it was very regimented and like, unless you're playing it and it's beautiful and it's perfect, it doesn't count. And then she was like, wow, you're not even breathing. You're not even taking full breaths. I'm like, you're not even inhabiting your whole body. Like, you are a three-dimensional being. Inhabit your whole body, and then making these, easy, sloppy, free sounds and sliding with my voice. And I'm just crying in these voice lessons because I was finding my voice, not what other people thought my voice should be, or the persona I'm taking on when I'm a teacher or a minister or a boss. But no, my voice, which is wild. And Matt Kahn also gives this funny example of breathing. And he says that the people with the inferior ego will say, I'll just breathe through the straw so I don't breathe too much of your air. No, never mind, I just won't breathe. I'm like, okay, I feel very seen with that. Or I saw a funny meme that had Alice in Wonderland talking to the Cheshire Cat, and the Cheshire Cat says the classic line, well, everyone here is mad. And Alice says, at me? Right? I felt very seen. But I want to reassure all of us that these are survival skills. We develop these patterns that may be unhealthy because of a trauma response, or because it worked in that moment. We were doing whatever we had to do to survive. And I want to challenge us all, especially, this is the journey I'm in right now, is to move from surviving to thriving. I need to learn new skills. What does it look like when I am fully inflated and being myself and expressing the divine and speaking up for myself? What does that look like? I'm still learning. And I know that when we're not speaking up, or when weird things come out of our mouth that isn't what we really want, oftentimes it's because we don't want to put people out, right? I don't want to be a burden. Or I don't want to hurt people's feelings. Or maybe I could soften the blow, or I could just lessen the request just enough to get by. Or we're afraid of a really negative response, or worse yet, it could be unsafe. I totally get that. It could be completely unsafe. And even beyond that, there are times when I have spoken up and I've been completely unheard and completely unseen, like no acknowledgement. I might as well be talking to a wall. And one of the deep sayings that we have in the nonprofit where I work is that people who are heard feel seen. So it'd be really wonderful this week when you listen to someone, know that they're being seen when you listen, or when someone listens to you, you are being seen. So how do we do it? How do we advocate for ourselves? How do we speak up for our needs, our boundaries, our desires? What is it that we need to speak up about? It's all about healthy communication. To be clear, to be direct, to be confident, and also to be kind. We don't have to run people over with the bus to speak our word. We can do that in a kind and compassionate way. There's a middle ground where we can speak up and be heard without trashing other people. All right, so a few steps for us. Before we really can speak up for our needs, we actually have to know what we want, which I think is another reason why I get tripped up, because especially, I had one situation, a former boss, he would lay out like 57 points and just like a fire hose and be like, and then be like, so what do you think? And I'm like, great. I don't know. And I didn't have the capacity quite yet to say, could we take those one at a time? Or could we slow that down a little bit? Like, I didn't even know how to say that until I got a little further down on the path. And I have to admit, I had a little Post-it note that I had on my agenda that I always had with me where I took notes. And it had key phrases like, could we slow this down a little? Could I take 5 minutes of a break? I need to think for a moment. Or, you just shared so much, I need some time to process that. Can I talk to you tomorrow again? Or this is really important to me, and I appreciate what you shared, but I need a moment. I had all sorts of stock phrases ready to go, because in the heat of the moment, I'm like, Did you ever get into the doctor's office and you know the 3 things you're going to say to them, and then they leave and you didn't say them, and you're like, oh my gosh, now it's going to be a year until I see this person again? Okay, maybe it's just me, but I'm all about just, like having some, like knowing what I want, and then really thinking, how do I get to what I want? Do I need prayer? Do I need discernment? Do I need time? Do I need to talk to my prayer partner, someone else to help me get perspective? And then I'm able to respond, how do I figure out what my needs are? So whatever that takes for you, really sit with it. What are your needs, or what are your boundaries? What are your preferences? Is there a situation where you are not speaking up and you really need to? And it's 100% okay to say, you know what? I've been afraid to speak up until now. Or I've been trying to wrap my head around this, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I think I've got it now, and I'd like to share this with you. Isn't that a novel concept, just to play with our cards face up? Wow. And honestly, I think that would go a long way with the other person with whom you need to speak up. It's very respectful to bring them along, as opposed to thinking they should magically divine whatever it is I'm thinking, and then I get mad. So it's way better, even if it's hard, to know what you want and to really consider, what do I have to do to get to that answer? And then as soon as you know the answer, speak it. Don't wait. Don't, because do you ever get to a point where it's like, well, I should have mentioned it and then I didn't. And then I really should have mentioned it and I didn't. And now it's like the snowball is going. The train has left the station and you're so far past where you should have said the thing that it's almost impossible to say the thing. Yeah. So waiting oftentimes makes it way worse. So speak it clearly, directly, no mind games, no tap dancing, no spin. But here's the biggest piece of this. Once you've spoken up, you need to confirm that the message was sent and received the way you intended it. Now that's a classic if you take any communications 101, that it's not actually communication unless the person receives the message the way it was intended. But it's really important to say that out loud, because I can say one thing and the other person hears something entirely different, and we have not communicated. Or maybe half of the thought was still inside my head and only half of it came out. And then that person's saying, I don't know what you meant by that. Or I think you meant this. Oh, no, that's not what I meant at all. So please, once you've spoken it, you need to confirm understanding of the message sent and received. And then there's even more. A really important step that we oftentimes forget. It's the follow-up. We got to uphold this agreement. If it's a boundary, or it's like, I really need like this quiet time in the morning for my meditation time, I really need to just be, left alone for this block of time. Okay, so then when it actually happens, and the other person in the house, your roommate or whatever, really gives you that space, thank you so much. That worked great today. I had a really good meditation because that time was quiet. Thank you, that was great. Or when it doesn't happen, like, ooh, Iron Maiden at 7 in the morning is not going to work so great for me. It's like when I'm trying to do a meditation. So upholding whatever that agreement is, it might need a little follow-up, a little guidance if it goes off. Because if I say, I really need this, and then the other person doesn't do it, but I don't hold them accountable, they're like, I guess you don't really need it. That wasn't real. It's like when you threaten to punish your kids, but then you don't. Yeah, that doesn't work. So it's really important to follow up after you've spoken up. And the bottom line is, the last step, practice and repeat. We just got to practice and repeat, because this is a skill. And it's a skill we're not taught to do. And I guarantee you, we're going to mess it up. There is going to be times when it comes out, more harshly than intended, or it might come out like that half thought, or it's not going to be clear, or it's too far. That's fine. Could we be vulnerable with each other and say, oh gosh, I used to have when I was a high school teacher, I had a little football flag in the room, and I'd be like, flag on the play, 15-yard penalty, that was way too harsh. Can we have a do-over? And then we would just try it again. Like, okay, how can we say that a little better? Because I need to say the thought, but yeah, that was not the way I meant it to be. So it's okay. It's okay. Like, the only way we're going to get the hang of it is to try doing it. And one last suggestion for you is to not apologize for having needs. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you mind moving that cart off my foot? Yeah. Oh my gosh. All these throwaway sorries that don't mean anything. Could you save your sorries for when you really do mess up? Because that's when you need it. Because man, we step in it sometimes, and that sorry could be so powerful. That sorry could be a total game changer. But to just use them like sprinkles on all sorts of, don't do that. Because it makes it not meaningful when you really need to apologize, and it dilutes the power of what you're saying. So instead, my good friend Vince taught me this, instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, could you do it? Oh, I'm so sorry, I was late, whatever. Could you say, thank you instead? Thank you for understanding that I needed blah, blah, blah. Thank you for helping me with this. Instead of, I'm sorry, I don't want to bother you. No, thank you. Could you hold the door for me? Try thank you instead of the throwaway I'm sorry. It really helps you to speak up more. And I love this little piece adapted from Rumi. It says, raise your words, not your voice. It is the rain that grows the flowers, not the thunder. Yeah, and having grown up in a house with lots of thunder, I especially appreciate the rain. So we can be confident yet kind. We can be humble yet strong. We can have boundaries with a little bit of flex and hold it gently and firmly. We can do this. Now, we've been intensely practical today because we're all about practical mysticism. So I want to shift a little bit into the spirituality here, because self-confidence and self-advocacy extends far beyond just asserting our personal rights. They are actually supporting us to assert our divine nature, to have a full expression of the divine. Instead of shrinking our expression of the divine, we get to have a full expression of the divine. We get to affirm our inherent worth, our infinite potential. We get to reinforce our truth as manifestations of universal mind when we speak up for ourselves, the God beings that we are. When we advocate for ourselves, we use creative power to manifest our desired outcomes. So recognizing the divine within is the key. This inner authority makes it so. I exist, therefore I have worth and value and needs, and I do not have to shrink or dim my light. So self-advocacy and spiritual practice is not just it is a spiritual practice, not just a skill. Let me say that one more time. So self-advocacy is a spiritual practice, not just a skill. So it acknowledges and expresses the divine whole within us. And when we're fully expressing our divinity and our humanity, that's where we live our best life. So to end with just a few philosophical and spiritual quotes, some are kind of traditional New Thought quotes, and some are a little more contemporary. Ernest Holmes shares with us, there is a power within you that can lift your life to its highest level. It is always with you and responds to your conscious use of it. And from Florence Scovel Shinn, she says, you are a unique expression of the divine. Speak your truth with love, for it is through your voice that spirit moves in the world. And from Charles Fillmore, declare your good boldly. The universe will echo your voice. And inspired by Emmett Fox, you do not have to convince others of your worth. Speak clearly and let the energy of your truth do the work. And a little more contemporary, Maggie Kuhn says, speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. And Audre Lorde, a very powerful poet, when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard or welcomed, but when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak. Your silence will not protect you. And from Alex L., from a poem called Neon Soul, you have a voice. Don't be afraid to use it. The world is waiting for your sound. So this week, I hope you really consider, what is it that you need? And are there certain people with whom, or certain settings where it's time to speak up? It's time to find your voice. It's time to take that next step forward so you can experience the full expression of who you are. That's the challenge this week. All right, let's take it to prayer now. So knowing that there is one presence, one life, one love that is expressing as the divine in each one of us, in all of our experiences, and in our thoughts, our words, our deeds, our interactions, in the music, in the food, in the message, all of this is where the divine is showing up. And it also shows up in the storms, and the difficulties, and the hard conversations that sometimes need to happen. That's the divine too. And so leaning into the strength and power and courage of the divine, I let go of anything that feels like fear, anxiety, concern. I let my precious little storyteller take a rest. Oh, sweet honey, take a rest. And allow Spirit to do the driving. That whatever situation it is that needs to be spoken into, let's bring it forth in our mind right now, hold it in our heart, and bless that situation, that boundary, that need, that relationship, that place for you to have your voice be heard. And so I know that clarity is the order of the day, that each one of us is inspired by Spirit to know what we need, to be able to speak forth what needs to be said, and to stand in our light, undiluted, our full-powered light. And as we speak up this week, especially as we're practicing, I claim for each one of us grace, perseverance, vulnerability, and courage. And above all, compassion. Compassion first for ourselves, that we have needs, that we are human, and that's okay. And compassion for other people, that we speak up and we speak kindly. And that we have beautiful interactions so everyone's life is uplifted, not just ours. Everyone wins when we are kind and clear and courageous. And so I know that this time together, this sacred time, is doing the work of the divine in our lives, that each one of us is going to take back the treasures from today's service and meditation. It's going to outpicture our lives in beautiful ways, far beyond what we could even understand, because this is the work of the divine. We are the place where God shows up in the world. And so I give thanks to be able to release what is no longer serving my best and highest good, to let any of that go, and to step into my fully inflated self that is sparkly and wonderful and ready to shine the light of the divine. So with a heart filled with gratitude for this time together and the blessing each one of us is in the world, I let it go and let it be, knowing that all is well. And so it is.
Thank you, Kamatara. I want you to just give me a second. So this is a song that I wrote, so you might think it odd that I need glasses to see it, but I write songs and I do them, and then they go into the file cabinet. And I wrote this for a minister up in Denver when I was working for the Denver CSL. It was his ordination, Reverend Patrick Soren. And I asked Patrick to kind of give me a list of things he was thinking about being a minister and about just being Patrick. And I took what he said and kind of interpreted it my own way. This is called Let Kindness Show the Way.
When you're deep in despair, when it seems no one cares, let kindness show the way. When you're angry and lost, don't be so hard on yourself. Let kindness show the way. When you're troubled and spent, filled with shame and regret, let kindness show the way. Step outside of your fear, speak your truth till it's clear. Let kindness show the way. Dreams really can come true. Your thoughts create your field of view. Whatever you are thinking becomes the things you do. Let what you bring to this world be inspired by God's word. Let kindness show the way. Oh, let kindness show the way. Let kindness show the way. Prayer makes a good life better. On this you can rely. When you hear God calling you, let yes be your reply. Before you love someone else, you must first love yourself. Let kindness show the way. Let what you bring to this world be inspired by God's word. Let kindness show the way. Let kindness show the way. Let kindness show the way. Thank you.
Wow. I love it. Original music. Amazing. Just love it. It is now our offering time to share our abundance. For those of you joining online, there are all different ways that you can give donations, and that's going to be scrolling across the screen momentarily. And also, if you're in the center, there are baskets up here on the platform where you're welcome to drop off your donations while we sing a beautiful song of, our giving song. But first we have our giving affirmation, and it's wonderful to say this with a great deal of spirit, to feel it in your heart. So let's say this together. I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I'm blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars, and so I give and receive generously. And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude within me, gratitude below me, gratitude above me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Oh, and let's take a moment to bless these offerings. So, what you gave financially, all the volunteering that happens in this beautiful center, and the way that we serve each other, our time, our talents, our treasures, we're just blessing all of that right now. So, thank you, sweet Spirit, for all of these gifts. We're grateful for the provision for all of our ministry needs and more. We're thankful for the infinite abundance of the universe, for our good health, for our friends, our family, this beautiful spiritual community, the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, and all the ways that we get to express our love, our appreciation of the abundance that's coming in and out in the flow. We know that we are giving and receiving, and that we are absolutely blessed by each other's presence. And join me in saying, and so this is. All right. Well, it's birthday week. You may have noticed the chapeaus. The first week of the month, we wear hats because it's birthday week, and it's time to celebrate. So if you have a May birthday, we'd love you to come on up, and we're going to ask you for a word that you would like to have to call in for the year for you, and we'll know that for you. So while you're coming on up, let's sing the happy birthday song we've got going on. Come on up, May birthdays.
Birthday to you.
Woo!
Happy
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
All right. So take a moment. Do you know what word you'd like to bring into your life this new fabulous year? And it's so wonderful to know that for each other, isn't it? To know the qualities of the divine are we have access to all of them. And they're thinking. Are you ready, Margie? All right, lovely lady. 2 words together. Okay, we can do a hyphen. The English teacher allows. Okay. All right, so Margie, what are you welcoming in this year?
Okay. Joyful kindness.
Ooh, love it. Thank you, Margie. All right, Brenda, what are you welcoming in this year?
Fun.
Oh, I love it. Ole. And Mark, what are you welcoming in this year?
Connection.
Connection. Woo, let's sing happy birthday to him one more time. We'll seal the deal.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
All right, thank you. Okay.
And for those of us whose birthday it is not, we can have all of those things. We can have joyful kindness, connection, and fun. We just have to know that for ourselves and be our own self-advocates, right? As we just learned. Okay. So, reminders. What a joy that we've been able to celebrate together today in fun, kindness, joy, and in learning about standing up for our spiritual and human selves. So don't forget to take advantage of the prayer time available after service right here at these chairs alongside the wall. That's where our practitioners will be, hopefully. I say hopefully because so many of us are at the retreat, or to share your written prayer request at the rear of the sanctuary in the prayer box. Or you can share them online, and we will pray for all of them. So, and after the service, please join us in the social hall for food and fun, joyful kindness, and just a lot of community. Thank you very much. And now we'll have our closing song and affirmation.
If you please stand. Something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. We're gonna do that same thing. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Amazing, amazing. It's so amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's so amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's so amazing. Amazing, amazing. It's so amazing.
That was amazing. Awesome. Here's our affirmation for the week. I speak with clarity and kindness. I speak with clarity and kindness. Have an awesome week, everyone. Thank you.
Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Let us begin with me. With God as creator, oh family all our way. Let us walk with each other, talk to each other with honor and dignity, as it was in the beginning, is now and evermore. As above, so below. La 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 la. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth.